The digital world moves fast, but real growth comes from real conversations. This is eCoffee with Experts, where marketers and founders share what's actually working in SEO, AI, and digital growth. Grab your coffee and fuel your mind as we chat with top minds about their wins, struggles, and lessons you won't find in a blog post. Brought to you by Digital Web Solutions, we bring real talk to help you grow your business, one episode at a time. Let's get started.
Hey, hi everyone. Welcome to your show, eCoffee with Experts. This is your host, Ranmay here. And today we have Nel Kure, who is the Managing Director at Digifix with us. Hey, Nel, how's it going?
Very good, sir. Thank you for having me today.
Lovely. Nel, before we move any forward, let's get to know more about you. Let's get to know the human behind the mic. So why don't you talk us through your journey a bit? How did you land up in the digital marketing landscape, SEO, and a bit about your agency as well? What do you guys do? What do you guys specialize in? And we'll take it off from there.
Fantastic. Look, I'd like to say this journey had been very organic for me. I used to run a couple of clubs back in the day when Facebook and all of those platforms were just coming out. Used to do a bit of marketing on those. And then people around me who were doing businesses figured out, this was lucrative, and they also wanted me to, help them out with some of their campaigns. 10 years later, here we are, a full-fledged company now. We are in 3 different countries doing a lot of good work. We specialize in SEO, PPC, socials. We also have application development arm as well as AI arm. We do a little bit of business telephony, but that's completely separate. Majority, we are sort of moving towards AI assisted workflows.
And you touched upon AI, which is quite interesting. What is your take on it, Nel? I mean, in general, and what is the best use of AI that you are making at your agency that you're really, really excited about now?
Right. We've just deployed AI calling bot. It's a cold calling bot doing amazing work for us. It's only been 2 weeks at the moment, but we can see the potential of this. The difference between this and some other bot out there is instead of training this in marketing materials, we trained the bot with human psychology. And it will try out, the way you speak, the way you look at things, the voice, tone, all of that. It understands all of that and then tries to understand, what type of things you resonate with, and then try to direct the call towards that area. Interesting space. And you asked me a good question about AI. I think, if I may say so, we have been doing a couple of conferences in the past. We've just done 2 in the last 3 months. We got another one on the 8th of August that we are hosting in Melbourne at the AWS building, 555 Collins Street. I think there's a lot of businesses that understands there's a thing called AI, but nobody's really figured out how to use it and take advantage of it. And that's one of the biggest things. And as a lot of people and experts say, it's about have you heard about the frog in the hot water analogy? Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So, if you put a frog in hot water, it'll jump out straight away. But if you put it in cold water and boil it slowly, by the time it figures out it's too hot, it would have exhausted all its energy to get out of this thing. So I always tell everybody that I meet, AI is everywhere that we look around. And the most, correct me if I'm wrong, I know you are, an expert in AI as well. I think the AI currently, the biggest use case for AI is social platform. They use AI to understand human interaction, how to generate the next video for you, how to keep that hook going. And that's why we are hooked to all of these social platforms, right?
Yeah.
So that's where we are.
Absolutely. Creating, synthetic humans, understanding human behavior. Perfect. Let's move on to Digifix now, Nel. So you do a lot of websites, right? So how do you ensure that the websites built by your agency not only meet design aesthetics, but also deliver high ROI for clients? Is back in the day, agencies were really happy at looking at a very good website, the look and feel of it. But now the website owners, or let's say the business owners, right, they want their phones to be ringing from day one. How do you ensure that there is enough ROI for the client?
Very good question. Look, there's no magic, 8 ball that we can look at, but there are good practices that we have been utilizing for a long time. We don't try to reinvent the wheel. We just try to utilize in, better ways. That's what we are trying to do. With websites, we always find out what their core requirement is. Some are just informational, some needs to be, generating bookings or sales or whatnot. And these days, creating a website is not just a one-time thing. You have to monitor it. We use heat maps to figure out, what's working and what's not working, and then keep them improving with time. But the most important thing is when we build them, we make sure the underlying architecture is really good. We put them through all of the Google platforms to make sure Google sees them properly. We make sure the underlying SEO sections are all, filled out and working properly. We attach them with all of the technologies like booking engines, calendars, WooCommerce, or any other platforms that needs to work with it. And we test them thoroughly before we release them to public. By doing that and then monitoring how it's progressing, I think we keep doing changes to it until it comes to a sweet spot where the ROI is really good.
Lovely. And what are your thoughts on the role of marketing automation in enhancing customer experiences, and how do you ensure its proper implementation? I mean, you did mention about the AI chatbot there.
It is still a very iffy area. Like if you ask 10 people on 10 different days, the answers that you get are completely different. So it could be one day you'd say, oh yeah, it's the greatest thing on earth. And the second day, everybody will say, I hate that thing, take it out of my website. But the thing is, it's coming. So whether you like it or not, it's like the internet or the telephone or the cars or, money, all of those things during innovation that has brought to humanity. It is another tool that is coming out and it is going to stay here forever. It's not going to go anywhere. It definitely helps businesses and it is about getting the best for your dollar. I think if you do it correctly, if you spend the time with it, I always tell AI is like a baby. You can't expect it to start working from day one. You have to be patient with it, train it, give it the guidance and, hold its hand until it comes to a place where it can start walking. Once it starts walking, then you got something that is self-sufficient and then it can do the work for you. So it's about spending the time with AI. You can't really hope that everything's going to be hunky-dory from day one. It's just training it properly and giving it the time.
Perfect. And Nell, as an agency, you do SEO, you do PPC. So how do you feel Google Ads and SEO evolved in your strategy, over a period of time? And what have you found the most, effective ways of integrating these platforms or these strategies for any client of yours?
You're asking about Google Ads and PPC in general. Is that correct?
PPC in general, yeah.
Yeah, PPC in general. PPC in general is the go-to place for all my customers if they want results overnight. I always tell people, SEO is probably the long game plan. PPC is a short game plan. So we always encourage people, who have little money, wants things done very quickly with PPC. The problem with PPC is it's become very popular in the last 5 years or so. Everybody now understands that you have to be on Google's first page or, do some sort of Google advertising, if they want their business to be successful, which is a good thing, also a bad thing, because demand and supply means there's a lot of demand and there's little supply. So the cost for PPC is skyrocketing, especially in the Australian space where our population density is very little. So the amount of businesses we have is very large. So because of that, I think in the Google space anyway, things are getting a little bit costly, but it's still viable space. If you do it properly, it is still very, very, very viable.
Absolutely. And how do you approach creating a lead gen campaign which is effective and sustainable for your clients? Because like you said, budget can be an issue with.
One of the best things that we do is we put them through a funnel. We map every step of the process. We understand what conversions at every step needs to look like. Rejections, how are we handling them? Abandoned carts and things like that. We monitor all of those on a visual sense so we understand what works and what doesn't work. By optimizing each step on a very regular basis, we understand the goals that we need to achieve on all of those individual steps and we try to get the ROI that we want. So for every customer that joins us, that's the first thing that we do. We map their journey of whatever they want to achieve. And then we say, look, this is what needs to happen. These are the steps. We are going to start this campaign and we're going to start optimizing this slowly. And if you get these numbers, your ROI is going to be positive. So until we get there is the magic time frame. Usually, for PPC customers, we get to a positive ROI within the first month or the first 3 months. And that's the time that we always tell people, you got to be patient and, make sure that we optimize all of these things to get to a positive ROI.
Lovely. And looking to the future, Nell, what are the emerging technologies, that you are really, really excited about? I know there is a lot happening in this space, but what kind of excites you the more?
I must say, I am a little bit biased towards AI. So AI is going to be everywhere in the next 5 years. I won't be surprised if my AI starts talking to your AI and does a coffee with you session one time and we don't even know about it.
All right. Absolutely. It can happen, right? Creating synthetic humans there. Absolutely.
That's right.
Yeah. Perfect, Anil. This has been a great conversation, but before we let you go, a quick rapid fire.
Look, if you're in Australia, Melbourne, come see us, have a chat with us. please, we want to know what your problems are. That's key number one. We want to know how we can help you. First consultations are always free, no problems at all. Come have a chat. Our website is digifix.com.au. Our numbers and contact details are all on that. So please. And Ranmay, thank you for your time and giving me this opportunity.
The second consultation is a paid one, by the way. All right. Okay, now
Always.
this has been a great one. We do not do charity. I understand. All right. Brilliant. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ranmay.